Hello everyone, I am Phoenix Tremayne and I'm glad to say that our show Married to Medicine is back, and I have a lots of notes front and back that we're going to talk about. We're going to unpack this episode and really get into Married to Medicine. I'm going to do a separate video on some things that came out in the blogs, so be on the lookout for that too. But let's talk about this. But first, if you haven't done so, please take a minute to subscribe. If you have subscribed, thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. I appreciate your support, and I appreciate you coming to my channel. Hit that like button, and if you really want to hear all the things that I got going on, from soap talk to gossip to Married to Medicine, subscribe. Okay, so now that that's out the way, we're going to talk about Married to Medicine. So first thing we're going to talk about is that article, because if you do follow me, you know that I was one of the YouTube bloggers that, talked about this, and I read the whole article, and she did not say anything about sex. Basically, she said the same thing he said in the reunion, that they went to the hotel, that they were about to have sex, and then he changed his mind at the last minute, told her that she could keep the hotel room, and left and went back to Quad. And then I guess that's when he told Quad what happened and all that kind of stuff. So that's why the article looked really weird to me. They used the same picture, and because they're showing this girl's picture on the episode, I think that she may even show up on the show. So we'll see. That should be messy. But what really would be great is if he divorced Quad, got with this chick, and she became the new Married to Medicine sister wife. So I think that would be fun, because Quad obviously don't want to be on the show, and we don't need her. So talking about the article, I thought it was a really low blow to talk about his penis size, because none of that was in the article. The article was released on the Shade Room, and then everybody shared it. So Shade Room, Bossa, all the sites shared it, but they shared the same exact story. So having this new story with the same pictures and everything, saying about how he was really small and he had oral sex and all that kind of stuff, yeah, that's news to us. That's new. I don't know if that's just manufactured drama for the show, but yeah. And then my friend I was watching the show with, he was like, he was just bringing out the fakeness of, I know Quad, but it's all the women, where she woke up with her hair done, full makeup on, whipped the blanket off, and it was like, we always just kind of laugh at scenes like that, because you rarely see a soap person. First off, you got unions, you got lights, you got sound, you got cameramen, so nobody just shows up your house when you're just waking out of bed. That's just some scripted stuff they put in there. So, they're just, that was not the fun of the show to me. The fun of the show was Mariah. I love Mariah. I'm so glad she's back. I would pick Mariah over Quad any day. Every time Mariah had a scene, it put a smile on my face. Yeah, we talked about the fake article, and then, we're going to end up talking about this season, Aiden cheating on Mariah. They're going to go back to that. I read that. So when she was telling him on his phone, make sure he doesn't have any articles on his phone, yeah, we're going to be revisiting that moment. And then Quad's ready to go to be with her real friends. Yeah. So it feels like Quad is just distancing herself from the show, as well as the ladies on the show, because you can't do scenes with people you won't talk to. Now, we saw throughout the season, Quad does interact with them, and she does have another heated moment with Mariah. So she will show up, but all this extra drama and Quad being extra, I wasn't feeling that. Because Quad reminds me of Kenya Moore, in Kenya Moore's really bad acting on Real Housewives of Atlanta. So I'm actually probably going to watch Real Housewives of Atlanta this season, because Kenya's not on it. I am not a Kenya fan, and Quad's manufactured drama is the same reason why I didn't like Kenya's manufactured drama. Because if you're going to lie about something, at least make me believe it. At least be a good enough actress to make me believe this fake stuff y'all doing on these reality shows. So, yeah, so I'm done with Quad. But if you've seen any of the stuff I did last year, I would take Quad over Contessa any day. Contessa is the most boring housewife of all the housewives. Good Lord. Why is she still on this show? Ugh. And then, I know some of you will get on me for saying this, but my mother was the kind of mother that other people sent their bad kids to whip them into shape and send them back home. So, and literally that's what my mother was youngest of 11, and my aunts who couldn't handle their kids would send them right to my mother who straightened them out. So if them kids were straightened out, I was straightened out. So seeing Contessa and her kids running around like they all just had a Red Bulls and sugar, was like, really? That's what we're doing today? Come on now. If you're going to stop working, at least whip your house into shape, at least for TV. If you can't handle it off camera, get a nanny and still be there, and both of y'all work with the kids, but don't get some mother who disrespects you. But Contessa, I like her. I just don't like her. I'm hoping she does something this season that makes me like her. But we also were laughing at her hair the whole episode. Y'all know that was some badass hair. Really. That first confessional look, you're a doctor. You can afford the good stuff. Really. And then that little ponytail she had in that other confessional, like, how old are you? Ugh. No, I don't like Contessa. Simone. Now, y'all know that I got into a lot of trouble talking about Simone, and y'all know what I'm going to say, that I still think Simone and Jackie are, you know what I'm saying? I still think that they're lesbian it up, that maybe they're bisexual for their husbands, but I think that those two are really girlfriends off camera. Y'all don't like when I say that. I got cussed out in the comments for it, but this episode didn't help at all in regards to me thinking Simone was straight. I think Jackie's bi, but Simone, I think she's definitely more lesbian than bi. But Simone and Cecil scene where he's like, I want some sex. He's been complaining about this for like season 1. Like it's been 6 years and she still won't give him none. And she don't give head. And I know people in the comments like, women don't have to give head, blah, blah, blah. Okay, you know what? Women like Heavenly, I love, because sometimes in a relationship, you have to just let caution to the wind and just let what happens in the marital bed happens in the marital bed. You know what I'm saying? If it's an issue with hygiene, okay, that's a conversation. But she's a doctor. She could just pretend it's a tongue depressor. Just like, you know what I mean? And if she chokes a little, it might be exciting. It make her feel like a man, like got the biggest tongue depressor in the world. I'm just saying. So Cecil was begging for sex. Them flowers didn't help. He's like, I would like to get the merge back on track. And Simone's like, sex. I'm gonna make y'all look at these scenes and look at these women differently. I guarantee you. I guarantee you. So, and we'll get back to Simone not wanting sex. But we go to Jackie, and she's having a crisis of doubt because her husband says he went to a car show, It was like car show. And so I feel sorry for Jackie. You know, I joke about her being lesbian or whatever, but I feel sorry for Jackie because when you've been cheated on, even if you forgive the person, even if you've been in a good space for a really long time, it only takes one moment of doubt to make you go right back to the moment when you were cheated on, and all those wounds you thought were healed open right back up. So I really, really, really do feel sorry for Jackie, and I hope that her and Curtis can work things out. Curtis was not getting any brownie points for me. I swear, when he pulled Toya down on his lap, everybody knowing that he cheated, you know, I was so mad that Eugene didn't punch him in the mouth. I'm sorry, but if he had done that to somebody that I was married to, oh, I don't care how tall he was sitting down, he would have got punched in the mouth and some more stuff. So I'm still mad at Curtis for that. I'm mad at Curtis for doing it. And I'm mad at Eugene for not punching him in the mouth, or at least putting him in his place. Good Lord. Toya would have gave him the best that night that he ever had in his life if he had jumped up and defended her like that, because I know Toya's that kind of girl. And then we had Simone needs to be taught how to have sex with Cecil. Simone, you've been married to the man for 22 years. Y'all had, I mean, even though in Showtime it's still 21 years, but I've been following these people on Instagram and different places, so I know that they celebrated their 22nd anniversary and that they're still together. But after 22 years, you don't know what to do with the penis? Really? And trust me, he's like a man who's looking for water in the desert. You just need to give him a few drops and he'll be good. You know what I'm saying? You know, you don't want him to have female friends. You want him to show you more affection. But men need sex. And quiet as is kept, women need sex too. I've had so many women tell me that women cheat more than men do, and they do it better than men. That's why they don't get caught as much. So, and I believe them. You know, so women love sex too. And, you know, if you've ever seen women at a strip club, because my production company is filming a show called Stage Life, and it's behind the scenes of like different entertainers, including exotic dancers. The things that these women do at these strip shows, trust me, y'all like sex. Really, y'all like sex. And the fact that Simone, after 22 years, don't know what to do with it, girl, you're a lesbian. We know this. You know this. You don't want nothing to do with any kind of penis. That's why you're a gynecologist, because you like... But let me get off of Simone. You know, I know sex therapists. I have a show called The Hard Truth. It's a talk show. We've had sex therapists come on. Usually a sex therapist doesn't need to teach you how to be intimate with your husband of 22 years. Usually the therapist comes in to shake things up in the bedroom, to get you to spice things up. You know, the sex therapists I know, the ladies I know that are sex therapists, and even some of the dominatrices that I know, you know, they add they take you, like Heavenly say, they take you to the whole nother level. After 22 years, Simone is still taking baby steps. We know why. Heavenly doesn't know if she's mean. Has she seen the show? Now, with that said, I love Heavenly. Heavenly she didn't do it this episode, but Heavenly is great for them confessional, you know, sock 'em to 'em one-liners. You know, Heavenly is the go-to girl for being messy on a reality show, and I love it. So we need more of Heavenly. Now, Mariah's shade is very welcome, which is my next note, because Mariah gives the best shade, and she used to give the best shade with Quad. The time that I loved Quad on Married to Medicine is when her and Mariah were best friends, and they would just go back and forth, and They were just, I loved it. I would love Quad if she just made up with Mariah and they were like they were in season 1 and 2. But, oh well. And I was also mad that, me and my friend, we've been missing the opening of the show that ends with them saying, and Mariah, we need that. And they didn't give it to us. So hopefully next episode, they'll actually put the credits on the show so we can hear the song. We love the song. Give us the song with Mariah's name in it. Not just those poorly photoshopped pictures that y'all were putting of them all standing together, where some of the women were kind of chopped funny. Like, my friend was like, why do they look so strange? I'm like, because it's Photoshop, and whoever did it, they messed up the edges. So I got to Mariah's shade. I loved it. The one-liners, she replaced Heavenly, hopefully not for long. And I got to say this. As much as I call Simone a lesbian, as much as she throws my gaydar into like full overdrive, and I'm friends with lesbians, so I've been around them enough to kind of pick up certain signals and different things that they do. And she hits all the bells and whistles and stuff. But for the first time in the show's history, Simone actually looked feminine, sexy, and wait for it, pulled together. We all know Simone can't dress. So she probably finally realized she's an ATL with all them darn queens out there that want to be a stylist. That was the best Simone has ever looked. And my gaydar got thrown off because I was like, when she looked at them guys that were serving them, she actually had a twinkle in her eye. And it made me start to think, maybe she's not a lesbian. Maybe she's just not attracted to Cecil anymore. I'm confused. But she impressed me. Kudos to Simone for finally looking like a sexy woman at an event that's sexy. Now that sex therapist Tiffany did not impress me. That's my note for Tiffany. Like I said, I know sex therapists. They are some of the funniest, most very blunt, type women that I've ever met in my life. And they all have sort of a little something extra because it's like they are so involved, know love, and when you with a good sex therapist, you know that she know what she talking about. You know what I'm saying? And this Tiffany chick, I don't know what she was doing. And her advice that she was giving Simone, no, you don't have to give them none. You just do it in your own time. That is not what a sex therapist does. A sex therapist says, I know you don't want to give it to him, but here are a few ways of how you can actually move in that direction to give it to him. So I'm like, what, she want to lick? What's wrong with her? And I understand where Jackie was coming from when Jackie was like, well, my husband cheated on me, so I know that I can't just give it to him. But Cecil didn't cheat. I mean, he may have emotionally cheated by having a female friend that she wasn't happy about him having, but they never went there with Cecil being a cheater. So, yeah, just give him some. Chances are he won't last that long. If he's really that much of a drought, he ain't gonna last that long. It might be 5 minutes. If you know what you're doing, yeah, even head. If you know how to do it, it ain't a long experience. You're not gonna get lockjaw. You get lockjaw with somebody that you're having sex with on a regular basis with, and they get used to all that. But no, when a guy's in a drought, he's done like that. I mean, you can roll over and finish with your dildos or whatever. So, Mariah was the best dressed to me. I loved her Catwoman outfit. I put on here a note that I liked that Contessa kept it real. Contessa, just like Heavenly, was like, just give them some. You don't want to be divorced, right? Even Contessa knows you gotta give them a little something, something, to keep. I mean, we're all human, and we all have sex drives, and yeah, sometimes our sex drive can go down when it comes to certain people after being with them for a certain amount of time. But that's when you gotta, do something new, do something different, change things up. Hell, I think maybe she just need another woman in the room. Maybe her and Cecil should start having threesomes. How about that? I know I just pissed off a bunch of people. I know. Yes, I know. And what Simone said, she really wants an emotional sexual experience. Let me tell you, every lesbian I know that I've talked about sex with has described sex, two women having sex as an emotional experience, that it's not just physical like with a man, that there are emotional levels that come into play when you've got two women doing what they do. So once again, when Simone describes how she would like her sex to be, it once again reminded me, okay, so she looks hot, but Gaydar's back in the normal direction it's normally in. Heavenly said give it to him. The horrible therapist. Was the picture shady is my next note. I don't know. Heavenly is the queen of shade on Married to Medicine. Mariah and Heavenly are equal queens of shade. There's no, neither one is better than the other. They both give it to you good when it comes to throwing shade. So Heavenly made a joke about, well, the whole thing with the picture is stupid. Yeah, you shouldn't have drew on her picture, but at the reunions, they're always looking for drama to for the big finale. That was great drama for the big finale. Gave them both great screen time. But it got real nasty when Heavenly joked about the size of Aiden's penis. And everybody was like, "Ooh, she didn't just go there." But then when Mariah had said that she had receipts about who Damon's been having sex with and that she's not really his type, I said, let's pray for Mariah, because Heavenly is about to black out and who knows what's going to happen next. We all know the one thing you don't do is talk about Damon when it comes to Heavenly. I don't know if this will go any further, but when Mariah says she has receipts, she usually does. And if you follow her on Instagram, you're more likely to see the receipts on Instagram than you will on the show. But yeah, you may want to check out Mariah's Instagram. Toya made sure Mariah stayed. That's why I love Toya. There was not enough Toya in this episode. I skipped over them working out because that was a stupid scene. But Toya, I love messy Toya. So she comes in third behind Mariah, Heavenly, then there's Toya is my favorites, then Jackie. But Toya made sure that even though she missed out on the first part of drama, she made sure that Mariah came back in there so that if there was gonna be some more drama, Toya could do what she do and instigate. But Mariah instead did something that completely caught me off guard. She actually stuck up for Quad. And that was really nice because, like I said, what I loved about Mariah was when she and Quad were best friends. That's when I truly loved Mariah and Quad together. Or should I say, that's when I truly loved Quad. So, and then I put another note. I'm glad Toya's son's okay. You don't want the little ones hurt. And I ended with, does the show need Quad? Does the show really need Quad? I think this episode proved that the show doesn't need Quad. Quad bookended the show, which means she was in the first scene and she was in the last scene. If those scenes weren't there, the show would have been just fine. You've got Mariah, the Queen of Shade. You've got Heavenly, the other Queen of Shade. You got Messy Toya. You've got Jackie, who I love her because she's not shady, but you know, I love Jackie because Jackie's Jackie. And I love Simone. I talk about her. I call her lesbian. You know, I call Jackie a lesbian. I do all this stuff, but I love the ladies. There's no hate towards them. I'm just a spectator giving my thoughts on how I see the show. You may see the show completely different than I am, which is why people argue with me in the comments. But it's all in good fun. You know, it was entertaining. I really enjoyed it. The season trailer that they showed was better than the one they were showing online, which made the show look really boring. So this new trailer that they put out was much, much better. And okay, it's time. Let me have it. If you made it to the end of this video, you probably should be subscribing. You should probably be looking for my notifications, and you should probably be hitting that bell button, because every episode we're going to be talking about this, and anything I find online about them, I will be posting it. So I'm ready. Are you ready? Like, comment, subscribe, and let me know if you think I'm crazy, if you think I'm right, and what did you think about episode 1 of Married to Medicine. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.